guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today we have a new unique VTX that just came out from Furious FPV. It's called the Stealth Long Range FPV VTX. Now this one is pretty unique because it has a lot of features and it's aiming to do a lot, and we're actually going to test some of what we can test here in the lab. So this is a 40 channel transmitter VTX as well as a Bluetooth controlled VTX, and it runs the IRC tramp protocol, which enables you to control it through the Betaflight OSD as well as the FrSky transmitters. Now this does have a 5-volt regulator on board, which is pretty cool. It's very good. There's the coil and it's just in there. It's a little nice spec. It also has an LC filter which reduces noise, and that's what we're going to be testing today actually. So that's cool in that perspective. And here we have two ports up here. This side is for the Bluetooth module. I don't have the Bluetooth module. I didn't get it with it. So it is a 3-volt Bluetooth module that would connect right there, and you could control it through your phone. And here you have an Rgb LED port, which is a 5-volt ground, and the LED signal, which controls what colors and all that kind of crazy good stuff. So that's all good and done. Now you also have an Rgb LED here, but this one is to display the status, what channel you're on, what's the power, what the VTX is really doing here. I guess they didn't have enough room, and everything is controlled through one button. However, there is a lot of commands to get everything done, which is really not recommended. This is basically recommended to be controlled through your Betaflight OSD at least. So I'd highly recommend you set that up. Now, for the connector type, it's the universal standard Vtx Type Connector here. So that's good to see. It does have an MMCX port, and it is an SMA pigtail here. So yeah, it comes with SMA, so take that into consideration. So let's just take a closer look at the board here. So as we can see, we have a nice fat tantalum capacitor right there, right in that corner. So that's nice to see. That will also help reduce the high frequency noise, so that's a huge plus. You do have a little microphone there, so that's just awesome. And what else do we have here? So let's talk about some of the things they're claiming before we actually do the noise testing. And the noise testing, we will be comparing it with a cheap budget alternative, which would be the Eoshin TX526, which is my favorite because it's so cheap. So we're going to see how both of them will handle the same exact noise, and what can we expect. Does this little LC filter right here actually help? And we're going to see that in a bit. So they're claiming that this thing is very clean. It does not bleed to other channels, and when it boots up very cleanly, so it does not take anyone out of the air. However, I'm not going to be able to test that for you because I don't have the equipment, but I will be getting the equipment to do that very soon on the channel. Now it has a super freaking awesome feature, which is to control it not by output power but by temperature. So what's that good for? Well, let's just say you're transmitting at 700 milliwatts, which is maxing this guy out. You crashed. You had a full battery, the battery stayed plugged in. After an hour, any VTX broadcasting will just basically fry itself out or lose a lot of power. Now, or desolder itself actually sometimes. So this thing has the option to control it via temperature. So let's just say you crashed. It'll start decreasing the output power to keep the temperature in check so it doesn't burn itself out. So that's very good, and that'll keep for a long lasting VTX. So I just thought that was absolutely phenomenal, really, when I read it. So that's just an awesome feature. I think that's really it, actually. We do have some caps here. So you know what? Enough talking, and let's get testing. Alright guys, so as you saw, there is a noticeable difference actually. So with 4 motors, there will be a difference somewhat. So this kind of really is actually buffing out some of that noise, which is very nice to see actually. I am really impressed, to be honest, really. So I did 2 kinds of tests. One test was my normal stress testing noise test, and the other test is the just different throttle levels to induce noise, because usually ESCs induce the most amount of noise between 70 to 90%, and that's where in the 70% throttle was really pushing it. And if you didn't understand the graph where it was just like little things going up, check the previous video where I went into detail about all that kind of stuff. So this handled noise very well. I was impressed, but it's kind of expensive, but all the amount of features that it has, and even the form factor, it's even smaller than this guy, is just awesome. And this thing weighs 5.2 grams, so that's awesome also. So overall, this is a very good piece of hardware, very good VTX here so far. I mean, here, at least here in the lab testing, on the bench testing. Now, I have no idea in real life testing and real world testing. I don't know if it bleeds to other channels. I don't have the equipment to test that. And if anyone's used it, please let us know down in the comment section. So overall, I really like it. It's hella expensive, but I'll probably put this on my favorite quad. It's a nice little piece of VTX actually. I'm speechless, So, I'm going to end it here because I'm just going to be stuck in a loop now. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. I really hope it was helpful to some of you out there. And I will see you next time. See you guys. Take care.